Hello and welcome to another video. Today's video is about the rust, basically. All of the metal brackets that I had around the engine bay, how rusty they were and what I've done to fix them. So as you can see here, this is the bracket that flips around to lift up the pods. And you can see that it was a little bit difficult to move it and such, and you can see a little bit of rust. It actually looks worse on the camera than it was, but as you can see, there's a difference in moving the parts after oiling them all and everything. So the bottom line with today's video is basically to show you what I've done to remove the rust and clean up as much crap as possible. And with these particular brackets, I actually had to drill out rivets and put them back in. The process that I've used was mostly with phosphoric acid. The phosphoric acid creates a layer of iron phosphate on the metal, and that protects the metals when it can be used as primer. Here you can see I've already done one part, and I'm just showing you the state of the other part. As I said earlier, it looks worse than it was actually. I'm not sure why the camera makes it look worse, but you can see that I used my nylon brush on the drill a lot to remove rust, and I've also used other means that are a bit more aggressive. And here I've also tried using pink stuff, which is a bit abrasive as well. And you can see the effort and how nicer it's coming along, and then ultimately use a Dremel to try to clean it and polish it. And this is effectively the long-winded way to do it. Okay, now I'm fed up with this. I've showed you the hard way to do it. I'm going to show you now the lazy way to do it. And the lazy way to do this, it's to take this stuff off, take this stuff off, take that stuff off, drill out the rivets again, and that goes in the bucket. You also take other metal things that may or may not rust and need some cleaning. You may or may not disassemble them. I'll leave that up to you. That goes in. I've got these two brackets for the motors. Again, more stuff that goes in the bucket. Now finding space in the bucket for that. I'm gonna deal with these, but I'm not recording that. Now for this part, these yogurt tubs are great. These 1 kilogram yogurt tubs. So roughly a liter of phosphoric acid. So here I have some high concentration phosphoric acid. It's actually a plant fertilizer, or to be more specific, hydroponic pH down. It's the name of the brand, and it's just designed to lower the pH of soil. But it's 81% phosphoric acid, which is what we are concerned about, and it's what I've been told works. Even though it's not pure phosphoric acid, we probably will have enough of a concentration to work, because a lot of people use 40%. So at 80%, I'm putting some gloves. I'm going to wash my hands after I do this. But all I'm going to do is just pour the liquid in and then give it a few hours. And we can already see the bubbling of the effect. So 1 liter of phosphoric acid concentrated, and the effect is effectively instant. We're already seeing the effects of it, and I'm going to open a window. So as you can hear by the noise, I have my fans venting the garage now, and it's been between 5 and 10 minutes. I'm not really counting, but I'm just gonna take out one of these pieces and inspect. Well, that has a different color. Okay, so it's been an hour. The phosphoric acid is still bubbling away, and It's still doing some smell when I stop the fans from venting the garage. But what I'm going to do is take the pieces out and put more different metal in and then wash them off outside. So we're going to find out how well this has worked. Okay, that still needs a lot of work. That looks absolutely perfect. What I'm going to do is just drop in there now the bonnet mechanism. And as you can see, it's already bubbling a lot. So I still have the fans running in the background. And I'm gonna take this outside, scrub the bits that have... Let's see if I can get this into the picture. So I'm gonna take this outside, scrub this, and then drop stuff back in. Yeah, that bucket over there, I've rinsed everything 3 times, put the stuff in the bucket. There's only 2 pieces that I've scratched the rust off, and I need to continue with that. The problem is that it started raining outside, so I need to do stuff inside with the noise of the fans, sadly. It's been about 20 minutes and that's still going. I'm gonna push that over there, then remove rust over here, and just continue as carefully as possible and get some new gloves again. Any loose rust, any loose iron phosphate, it's coming out until we get as good metal as we can. This one is ready to go. I just need to scratch as much metal from there as possible, and I also need to put new gloves again. The difference is absolutely stunning. Hope that the camera can really catch it, but it's a night and day kind of difference. Now I'm just continuing with my task of trying to loosen up as much rust as possible. I don't want to shake the table much, otherwise I'll spill some acid. But that is ready to go back in, so again, very carefully dipping it in. And now I'm just leaving the phosphoric acid again to do its job, and I will be back in an hour or so to continue with the work. In the meanwhile, these are the bits that came out. I may give them another bath or not, but they do look like they don't have any rust left, so I'm just gonna let them dry now, and we'll see how things go. I am actually a bit concerned that what you see right now as browning may be rust from the water, so I'm gonna dry them and then give them a dip. That may remove, if it's rust it will remove it, and then that will be it. I will be nullifying the acid afterwards with a basic substance, with an alkali substance. And here we have the end result. Every single piece has been de-rusted. Let's see if we can focus on this. As you can see, most, if not all, of the rust is out of this one. Some of them still have a little bit of rust, like this one. Well, but the rust has been treated, and there's iron phosphorizing. I don't know the name of it, but it's basically protected now. So yeah. So the next step now it's just to spray paint them. Everything with the exception of this spring, and then they all can go back in the car. Right, so here I have some gunmetal paint from Rust-Oleum. Now I bought this thinking that it would be rust protection, but it doesn't do rust protection. Anyway, I've got the phosphoric acid to do that job. hopefully you can see from the footage, the gunmetal paint actually worked out really well to hide those imperfections in the rust removal process in these brackets, and everything else just looks like the typical gunmetal color. And after that batch was done, I picked up the rest of the bits that were still in the car. So these are the brackets that still hold the blight pots, but the ones that are from behind. Here you can see that the phosphoric acid was reused, so it's a bit dirty and all that, but because it was in such a high concentration, it still was doing its job at removing the rust and everything. It actually, you know, if I was going to do this again, I would not have done it like that. I would use new phosphoric acid, because it's been a few months since that was done, and a few of these parts actually need to be treated again because the phosphoric acid didn't go all the way through. So that's just something for another day. But the principles are the same. If you just don't do as I say and you do as I do, you'll be fine. And here are the same brackets being painted and everything. And I have more bits. These are the bits from the hood storage compartment. They actually have leftovers of paint, so they took a bit more effort to remove the paint and then get down through the rust to finally get everything cleaned. And here you can see that I used an Exatonite as well as the nylon brush and the scrubbing brush to remove as much crap from there as possible. They looked very, very shiny before they got dipped in acid, and then after the acid they ended up looking just like the pieces you've just seen. As you can see, I moved down now to do some of the latches of the bonnet. So there was the latches of the hood storage compartment, there's the latches of the bonnet. I will be doing the bonnet brace soon, and this is a little spring that holds the bonnet. Again, I took the spring out. This was not treated with the phosphoric acid because I don't know if the iron phosphate would have an effect on the springiness of the spring, so I didn't take a risk. I just cleaned it as much as I could. And here you can see a bit of a close-up of how it looks like. I cannot remember if this was before or after using the phosphoric acid to clean it. I think this was before. No, this was actually after, because I'm now drawing it out. So in this one, you can see a bit of a little tiny bits of rust that were treated and they became black, and then on the opposite side, no rust at all. There they are, just painted them. Still a bit of a gloss because it's still wet. And when they dried, actually they look nicer. After doing all of that rust treatment, what I have here is the brackets painted with gunmetal grey and full of iron phosphate. So it's a iron phosphate covered bracket with then painted over with gunmetal paint. All I have to do is just rethread this to make sure that the iron phosphate and paint are not blocking the threads, and rivet the old joints. I don't want to treat these with the iron with phosphoric acid because there's some nylon there and I don't know how it affects it. So I'm just reassembling everything, putting new rivets, and then I will eventually oil them a little bit. Well, technically speaking, it's not oiling because I used silicone spray. And there we have it. I think this is now ready for reassembly. It will require a little bit of degrease, and I need to grease it with silicone grease. Because that being nylon, I don't think it will like, what's the name of it, WD-40, or a WD-40 alternative. The reason it's because WD-40 or its alternatives are mineral based instead of silicone based. And that's it for this video today. So you can see what I've done to restore, repair, protect all of those brackets and internal bits around the engine and the wood storage compartment brackets and all that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Everything went back in the car later. I may have a video for that already out or not, I don't actually remember. And thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.